show some highlights from Carlson 2013. And here with me is my brother Todd, and he will be monitoring the questions that you type on the GoToMeet or the webinar panel, and then we can have some questions at the end. Okay? So Carlson 2013 runs on AutoCAD 2013 through 2004, as well as IntelliCAD 7.2. There are about 150 new features. It was released in June, and customers who are current with their maintenance should have received a notice by email by now. And you can also go to these links that I've posted here if you want to look up your 2013 serial number. And the installs are also posted on that second link there. Okay, so for the highlights, I'm going to go over all the different modules in Carlson 2013. So first, just general improvements, and then survey, GIS, civil, mining, takeoff, and then we'll have some questions. Okay. So one of the new things is we've added ribbons for when you run on AutoCAD. And there are ribbons for the survey module and civil, and some and takeoff, and some general ribbons too. So ribbons are kind of like advanced toolbars that highlight the most important commands and can step you through the workflow. And you can still use the pull-down menus and regular toolbars, but ribbons are there as an option. There are also about 170 new toolbar icons. And we've added a new output option to the report viewer. Well, as part of the report formatter. So let me show an example of that. So a lot of the Carlson commands have report formatter option, such as list points. List points, so you can turn on use report formatter, and this is where you can choose which fields you want in your report. We're using them all, and you can change their order if you like. What's new here is this report viewer option, where you can choose your page size and your margins. Click OK, and then you get this formatted report as specified. What's different about this report viewer than the one we already had is that for this list data you have lines for the rows and columns, and you can output this directly to the printer, or you can also save it as a PDF or save it to Word or Excel. Okay? And if you had a long list of points, you have multiple pages, and you can step through the pages because the page size was set up when we started this view. And you can customize the report header and footer. So you can put your company name, your address, phone number, date, and other fields. This is customizable. You can also put in your company logo into the report header. So let me show you how this is set up. So under settings, there is field options. So these are the available fields, and then these are the ones you're going to include in your report header. In the report footer, we just have the page number. You can also put in special fields to the body of the report. So you can edit the properties of any of the fields in the report. You say, okay, I want the company name to be on row number 1. I can make it center. You can choose the font. You can make it bolder. You can change the color. That kind of thing. And you can just have a line, just a horizontal line across. And here's where the image is. So you just supply an image file and say you want it on row 1 on the right. Okay, and then once you got that set up, you can save it and share it around your company. Okay, there's a new twist to 3D view command, just a little utility that is kind of cool. So, if you look at a drawing in 3D from the side, a lot of your labels, typically are facing straight up for plan viewing. So when you look at them from the side, it's really hard to read the labels or the points. So, show an example of this. Okay, so this is just a topo of some contours, but this would also apply if you had building shots or shots on a building or something like that. So under view, there's twist 3D entities, twist and 3D view. Select the points, and it doesn't change the coordinates of the entities. It just changes their orientation so that they face the current view. Okay, and then you can just put them back if you want. Restore to world view. Okay. Okay, we've added some more functionality with Google Earth. You can now export not just line work, but points, and we include other information like the point number, the description, as well as the layers of the entities. And we also added an import for KML and KMZ. Let's show that. Okay, so the Google Earth command used to be kind of within the polyline file, but it's now a separate command. So there's import and export Google Earth. We'll do export here. We can say we want to include points, layers, and we're going to display the results of Google Earth. And so then I can select what I want to export, and so it launches Google Earth. This survey is in Stowe, Vermont, so we zoom in. There's our drawing data, and you can pick on points. That's that polyline's on the slew layer. That's point 53. There's the description, and there's the elevation. And these are the different layers that we brought in to Google Earth. IntelliCAD 7.2 now have released this version 7 of IntelliCAD. We have been running on IntelliCAD 6 up until now, but we've now switched over to IntelliCAD 7. It's based on a new core engine developed by IntelliCAD. Has some things like the property window that people have been asking for. So some survey commands. New thing is that there is a new coordinate file, which is called a CRDB for database. It's based on SQLite. So you still have the Microsoft MVB access format database, but this is a new option that SQLite has better support on Windows 7. So with this coordinate database, you can use large point names up to 255 characters, and same for description, large descriptions. And CRDB will be supported in CERC 3.0. So I'll just show briefly this when you go, say, set coordinate file. These are the different formats that we support. So there's this new CRDB. So if you wanted to use that format, just make that your file extension. Okay. Search, publish, control is a utility that will look up control points. It has a map interface here. So let me show how that works. This is IntelliCAD 7 here. I'm showing the same drawing. So under points, point utilities, there's search, publish, control. Then you can zoom in to where you're interested. So let's go towards the Maysville office. Okay. So zoom into your area, and then hit the search for control button. And then it shows you the control points you found, and you can click on one, and it goes and gets the data sheet for it. And then you can choose some of these points and then output them to your current coordinate file. Okay. Okay, the cut sheet command has a major overhaul. Let me show that. So the survey module, cut sheet has a new spreadsheet interface. And you can now import from CERC directly. So if you've done stakeout in CERC, you can bring that directly in as cut sheet data. And then we had the methods we had before. You can import points, your stake points, or read them from a note file or from an RW5 file. And then you can set your target grade by other points, by surface models, 3D polylines, cross sections, road design, or a runway. And then you can specify center lines so that the program can get station and offset. And then there's reporting and some draw tools. So, and the data can also be saved. So I have one saved here. So this is the data for the cut sheet, and I can go to create report and choose which fields I want for the report, and I'll use the report viewer that we showed at the beginning. So that's a sample cut sheet report here. under draw, I'll just show the settings here. You can have the program mark any points that are outside of tolerance. And there's also this new thing to draw delta symbol labels. So I have the draw delta symbol labels on and turn off the markers. And then say draw labels. Okay, now exit. Let me just turn off the points so you can see the delta symbols better. So the symbols show how much your point was off in the north or south direction and in east or west direction. Okay, tree surveys. Field to finish already had some coding for tree shots, but we added some new coding methods in 2013. And we added a new option to create a tree table and a report. And you can draw a tree line, like outline for all the trees, kind of like shrink wraps all the tree canopies. And there's a new option to draw the circle for the trunk, and some complete control for the labels. So, show that. So, draw for the finish. Under reports, you can do a tree report using a report formatter. Then you can choose which fields you want in the report. This is just a small example of 3 trees, but that's the idea. Actually, let me show how the coding is set up here. So I'll just do edit points. So you have the type of tree, oak, and then the size of the trunk, and then the size of the canopy, and then just like an ID number, which is optional. Okay. And then the other new thing is in field to finish. When you go to edit a code, so we have oak and pine here, there's a new feature type. So to do the new tree coding, you have to tell field to finish that the code oak, say, is feature type tree. And then when field to finish processes for any code that's feature type tree, it will look for the special tree coding. And then here's the setup for the tree coding. So these are those different options for how it draws the symbols. Then you have control of the layers for what it's about to draw. And then here's the description coding with some explanation. So it expects the trunk size first, then the drip size, and then the tag number. But you can put things out of order by specifying suffix. So if you did FT as a suffix, then you could put the drip first by saying oak space 24 FT. And the program would know that that first number was actually the drip, not the trunk size. You can also assign the tree parameters from GIS attributes. So if you set up coding where the attributes are stored in these fields, GIS, then you'll pick up on those. And then there's the label control where you can choose how all the different labels are set up, which ones you're using, and prefix and suffix, that kind of thing. Okay? So I'll just click OK. And prompts me, do I want to create a tree table? I'll say yes. When you do a tree table, it just puts the tag number next to the tree, and then you pick where it draws the tree table. Okay. For GIS, just wanted to show one utility here under the image processing, which is create image from drawing. So let's switch to GIS. Image, create image from drawing. And select, or give it an image name, then select the entities, and it makes an image. Now, what can be useful about this is if you have a very large drawing that you want to put into the data collector with Carlson, you can make an image, and this image is georeferenced by the drawing coordinates. So then you can use that as a background image in Carlson data collection. But we can also do image 3D viewer. There's my image I just created. And I'll choose surface to drape it on. Turn off color by elevation. And then, so there you can see that the image draped on the surface. Or, yeah, well, actually the drawing. Okay, Carlson Civil. There's a new 3D surface type called a wall polyline that you can bring into your surface model. So it's like a 3D polyline with the top and the bottom. So in Civil, under 3D data, there's edit assign wall polyline. And you can pick up a polyline like this, and you get basically a profile editor for the top and also the bottom. So you can control the top and bottom of the wall along that 3D polyline. Okay. And then if you run triangulating contour, okay. So first I'll run it. I'll say select objects all, and then R for remove, and remove this 3D wall polyline. And you can see the contours are just kind of like going up the slope, kind of evenly spaced based on triangulating between those points. Now we'll run the triangulating contour again. Under selection, I'm going to turn off from file. Okay. And now I'll say select objects all and pick up the wall. And you can see the contours now are basically up all along the face of the wall. It goes up. Okay. Okay, so we also now have the option for dynamic point elevations. So this applies to Carlson points that have been elevated either by surface model or by 3D polyline. And it also applies to spot elevations. Also with spot elevations, we added an option for a vertical offset and an option for a second label and an option for using a 3D polyline as your elevation reference. So let me show that. I'm just going to turn off these points here. So under 3D data in Civil, there's set point elevations by surface model or by 3D polylines. So those are the ones that have an option to link. And then there's also the link option under draw spot elevations. So here's the new vertical offset option, new option for additional label, and then for reference for the elevations, you can say a slope from a polyline. So I'm going to do that. And then here's this new link to reference option. Okay. And then, so I can pick my 3D polyline, I'll just place a couple of spot elevations in. Okay. Then, if I do like edit assign polyline elevations, and then come in here and change my 3D polyline. Okay, click OK, and then there it updated my elevations labels. Okay, for storm sewer networks, we added a couple new structure types for laterals. So there's new clean out and lateral connection, and these new lateral settings also apply for reports, as well as drawing and cross-section or profile. Okay, now Carlson mining, there are a fair amount of changes in the geology. There's a new format for the drill hole database called a CDB, which is also based on SQLite. And the main reason for this was better performance with Windows 7. And more work on the database setup is you can now have lookup databases. So any of the parameters that you use in your drill holes can reference other tables. So for example, you can have a lookup table for the drill hole type or the driller name or things like that. There's also select drill holes by filter query. So you can bring in only selected drill holes into the drawing from the database based on your filter. And there's a new quick geologic column command. Just select some drill holes and shows them in section B. With edit drill hole, is an update to the user interface where it now shows the data in the spreadsheet instead of a list. So you can edit the data right in the spreadsheet without having to highlight the list and click the edit button. There's also some things where you can color the strata by definition. You can also color the strata by grade parameter, so you can see right in the editor here. Okay, there's a new range diagram calculator where you can put in the dimensions of your drag line and your seams, polylines out of raster images. So if all you get for your input is an image of the plans, you can now trace the image line work to create polylines in the drawing. So this applies also for when you get jobs as PDFs, because oftentimes the PDFs are just containers for actually images. They don't have vectors. So you have to do this raster to vector tracing the polylines. Okay, well, that's quick highlights of 2013. So let me check with Todd and see if there have been some questions.
Okay, Dave. Great job. A lot of good things. I have a couple questions. And yeah, anyone else, feel free to ask a question. It should be on the right of the GoToMeeting. There's a question section, so feel free to type in anything there. I have two from Kenny Price. His first question is with the search publish control. Can you search an area by an address? Can you like type in an address and bring in the results that way?
No, we don't have that. It's not,
okay.
It's not like that Google Earth where you can put in an address and it zooms there. You got to zoom it yourself.
Okay. He had another question with the tree table report. If it can, or with the tree table, if it can report the tree coverage area.
Individually, yeah, that's one of the report options is the area that's covered by the tree. Individually, yeah.
Okay. And then I had a question from Amanda. In takeoff, can you show where that command is and explain it in a little more detail?
Sure. The trace.
Yep.
So under takeoff, there's a raster pull down. The raster pull down was new in Carlson 2012. So basically it has commands where you can insert the image into the drawing, and then there's this set raster image where you tell the program which image you're going to process currently. Then you can run the trace command.
Yeah, once the image is there. And there is a YouTube video that shows that command a bit. If you just search Carlson software, it's on our YouTube channel. And I'm the product manager for Takeoff, so anyone with questions with Takeoff, just email the chat here, and I can follow up with you and show you any of the commands that are new in Takeoff. And that's all the questions we have at this moment. So thanks, Dave. It's a lot of good stuff, and I think we're done.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome, everybody. This is David Carlson, and I'm going to show some highlights from Carlson 2013. And here with me is my brother Todd, and he will be monitoring the questions that you can type on the the webinar panel, and then we can have some questions at the end. Okay. So Carlson 2013 runs on AutoCAD 2013 to 2004, as well as June, and customers who are current with their maintenance should have received a notice by email by now. And you can also go to these links that I've posted here if you want to look up your 2013 serial number. And the installs are also posted on that second link there. Okay, so for the highlights, I'm going to go over all the different modules in Carlson 2013. So first, just general improvements, and then survey, GIS, civil, mining, takeoff, and then we'll have some questions. Okay. So one of the new things is we've added ribbons for when you run on AutoCAD. And there are ribbons for the survey module and civil, and some and takeoff, and some general ribbons too. So ribbons are kind of like advanced toolbars that highlight the most important commands and can step you through the workflow. And you can still use pull-down menus and regular toolbars, but ribbons are there as an option. There are also about 173 new toolbar icons. And we've added a new output option to the report viewer. Well, as part of the report formatter. So let me show an example of that. So a lot of the Carlson commands have report formatter option, such as list points. List points, so you can turn on use report formatter, and this is where you can choose which fields you want in your report. We're using them all, and you can change their order if you like. What's new here is this report viewer option, where you can choose your page size and your margins. Click OK, and then you get this formatted report as specified. What's different about this report viewer than the one we already had is that for this list data you have lines for the rows and columns, and you can output this directly to the printer, or you can also save it as a PDF or save it to Word or Excel. Okay? And if you had a long list of points, you have multiple pages, and you can step through the pages because the page size was set up when we started this view. And you can also customize the report header and footer. So you can put your company name, your address, phone number, date, and other fields. This is customizable. You can also put in your company logo into the report header. So let me show you how this is set up. So under settings, there is field options. So these are the available fields, and then these are the ones you're going to include in your report header. In the report footer, we just have the page number. You can also put in special fields to the body of the report. So you can edit the properties of any of the fields in the report. You say, okay, I want the company name to be on row number 1. I'm going to make it center. You can choose the font. You can make it bolder. You can change the color. That kind of thing. And you can just have a line, just a horizontal line across. And then here's where the image is. So you just supply an image file and say you want it on row once you got that set up, you can save it and share it around your company. Okay, there's a new twist to 3D view command, just a little utility that is kind of cool. So, if you look at a drawing in 3D from the side, a lot of your labels, typically are facing straight up for plan viewing. So when you look at them from the side, it's really hard to read the labels or the points. So, show an example of this. Okay, so this is just a topo of some contours, but this would also apply if you had building shots or shots on a building or something like that. So under view, there's twist 3D entities, twist 3D view. Select the points, and it doesn't change the coordinates of the entities, it just changes their orientation so that they face the current view. Okay, and then you can just put them back if you want. Restore to world view. Okay. Okay, we've added some more functionality with Google Earth. You can now export not just line work, but points, and we include other information like the point number, the description, as well as the layers of the entities. And we also added an import for KML and KMZ. Show that. Okay, so the Google Earth command used to be kind of within the polyline file, but it's now a separate command. So there's import and export Google Earth. We'll do export here. We can say we want to include points, layers, and we're going to display the results in Google Earth. And so then I can select what I want to export, and go as launches Google Earth. This survey is in Stowe, Vermont, so we zoom in. There's our drawing data, and you can click on points. That's that polyline's on the single layer. That's point 53. There's the description, and there's the elevation. And these are the different layers that we brought in to Google Earth. IntelliCAD 7.2 now have released this version 7 of IntelliCAD. We have been running on IntelliCAD 6 up until now, but we've now switched over to IntelliCAD 7. It's based on a new core engine developed by IntelliCAD. Has some things like the property window that people have been asking for. So it's quite a big update for IntelliCAD from what it was with 6. Okay, now some Carlson survey commands. Okay, new thing is that there is a new coordinate file, which is called a CRDB for database. It's based on SQLite. So we still have the Microsoft MVP access format database, but this is a new option that SQLite has better support on Windows 7. So with this coordinate database, you can use large point names up to 255 characters, and same for description, large descriptions. And CRDB will be supported in CRCE 3.0. So I'll just show briefly this when you go, say, set coordinate file. These are the different formats that we support. So there's this new CRDB. So if you wanted to use that format, just make that your file extension. Okay. Search, publish, control is a utility that will look up control points. It has a map interface here. So let me show how that works. This is IntelliCAD 7 here. I'm showing the same drawing. So under points, point utilities, there's search, publish, control. Then you can zoom in to where you're interested. So let's go towards the Gainesville office. Okay. So zoom into your area, and then hit the search for control button. And then it shows you the control points it found, and you can click on one, and it goes and gets the data sheet for it. And then you can choose some of these points and then output them to your current coordinate file. Okay. Okay, the cut sheet command has a major overhaul. Let me show that. So the survey module, cut sheet has a new spreadsheet interface. And you can now import from CRCE directly. So if you've done takeout in CRCE, you can bring that directly in as a cut sheet data. And then we had the methods we had before. You can import points, your stake points, or read them from a note file or from an RW5 file. And then you can set your target grade by other points, by surface models, 3D polylines, cross sections, road design, or a runway. And then you can specify the center lines so that the program can get station and offset. And then there's recording and some draw tools to use. So, and the data can also be saved. So I have one saved here. So this is the data for the cut sheet, and I can go to create report and choose which fields I want for the report, and I'll use the report viewer that we showed at the beginning. So that's a sample cut sheet report here. And some new things under draw. I'll just show the settings here. You can have the program mark any points that are outside of tolerance. And there's also this new thing to draw delta symbol labels. So I have the draw delta symbol labels on and turn off the markers. And then say draw labels. Okay, and now exit. So symbols show how much your point was off in the north or south direction and in east or west direction. Okay, tree surveys. Field to finish already had some coding for tree shots, but we added some new coding methods in 2013. And we added a new option to create a tree table and a report, and you can draw a tree line, like outline for all the trees, kind of like shrink wraps all the tree canopies. And there's a new option to draw the circle for the trunk, and some complete control for the labels. So, show that. So, draw for the finish. Under reports, you can do a tree report using a report formatter. Then you can choose which fields you want in the report. This is just a small example with 3 trees, but that's the idea. Actually, let me show how the coding is set up here. So I'll just do edit points. So you have the type of tree, oak, and then the size of the trunk, and then the size of the canopy, and then just like an ID number, which is optional. Okay. And then the other new thing is in field to finish, when you go to edit a code, so you have oak and pine here, there's a new feature type. So to do the new tree coding, you do have to tell field to finish that the code oak, say, is feature type tree, and then when field to finish processes for any code that's feature type tree, we'll look for the special tree coding. And then here's the setup for the tree coding. So these are those different options for how it draws the symbols. And then you have control of the layers for what it's about to draw. And then here's the description coding with some explanation. So it expects the trunk size first, then the drip size, and then the tag number. But you can put things out of order by specifying suffix. So if you did FT as a suffix, then you could put the drip first by saying oak space 24 FT. Then the program would know that that first number was actually the drip, not the trunk size. You can also assign the tree parameters from GIS attributes. So if you set up coding where the attributes are stored in these fields in GIS, then you'll pick up on those. And then there's a label control where you can choose how all the different labels are set up, which ones you're using, and prefix and suffix and that kind of thing. Okay. So I'll just click OK. And ask me, do I want to create a tree table? I'll say yes. When you do a tree table, it just puts the tag number next to the tree, and then you can pick where it draws the tree table. Okay. GIS, just wanted to show one utility here under the image processing, which is create image from drawing. Well, let's switch to GIS. Image, create image from drawing. And select, or give it an image name, and then select the entities, and it makes an image. Now, what can be useful about this is if you have a very large drawing that you want to put into the data collector with CircView, you can make an image, and this image is georeferenced by the drawing coordinates. So then you can use that as a background image in CircView for data collection. But we can also do image through the viewer. There's my image I just created. And I'll choose surface to drape it on. Turn off color by elevation. And then, so there you can see that the image draped on the surface. Or, yeah, well, actually the drawing. Okay, Carlson Civil. There's a new 3D surface type called a wall polyline that you can bring into your surface model. So it's like a 3D polyline with a top and a bottom. So in Civil, under 3D data, there's edit assign wall polyline. And you can pick up a polyline like this, and you get basically a profile editor for the top and also the bottom. So you can control top and bottom of the wall along that 3D polyline. Okay. And then if you run triangulating contour, okay. So first I'll run it. I'll say select objects all, and then R for remove, and remove this 3D wall polyline. And you can see the contours are just kind of like going up the slope, kind of evenly spaced based on triangulating between those points. Now we'll run the triangulating contour again. Under selection, I'm going to turn off from file. Okay. And now I'll say select objects all and pick up the wall. And you can see the contours now are basically up all along the base of the wall. It goes up. Okay. Okay, so we also now have the option for dynamic point elevations. So this applies to Carlson points that have been elevated either by surface model or by 3D polyline. And it also applies to spot elevations. Also with spot elevations, we added an option for a vertical offset and an option for a second label, and an option for using that 3D polyline as your elevation reference. So let me show that. I'm just going to turn off these points here. So under 3D data in Civil, there's set point elevations by surface model or by 3D polylines. So those are the ones that have an option to link. And then there's also the link option under draw spot elevations. So here's the new vertical offset option, new option for additional label, and then for reference for the elevations, you can say a slope from a polyline. So I'm going to do that. And then here's this new link to reference option. Okay. And then, so I can pick my polyline, and I'll just place a couple spot elevations in. Okay. Then if I do like edit assign polyline elevations, and then come in here and change my 3D polyline. Okay, click OK, then there it updated my elevations labels. Okay, for storm sewer networks, we added a couple new structure types for laterals. So there's new clean out and lateral connection, and these new lateral settings also apply for reports, as well as drawing and cross-section or profile. Okay, now Carlson 90, there are a fair amount of changes in the geology. There's a new format for the drill hole database called a CDB, which is also based on SQLite. And the main reason for this was better performance with Windows 7. And more work on the database setup is you can now have lookup databases. So any of the parameters that you use in your drill holes can reference other tables. So for example, you can have a lookup table for the drill hole type or the driller name or things like that. There's also select drill holes by filter query. So you can bring in only selected drill holes into the drawing from the database based on your filter. And there's a new quick geologic column command. Just select some drill holes and shows them in section B. With edit drill hole is an update to the user interface where it now shows the data in the spreadsheet instead of the list. So you can edit the data right in the spreadsheet without having to highlight the list and click the edit button. There's also some things where you can color the strata by definition. You can also color the strata by grade parameter, so you can see right in the editor view. Okay, there's a new range diagram calculator where you can put in the dimensions of your drag line and your seams and check that everything's fitting, and gives you the graphic feedback right there and the spreadsheet data input, and also has some nice reporting PDFs and such. In Carlson Takeoff, one of the main new things is tracing polylines out of raster images. So if all you get for your input is an image of the plans, you can now trace the image line work applies also for when you get jobs as PDFs, because oftentimes the PDFs are just containers for actually images. They don't have vectors. So you have to do this raster to vector tracing between the polygons. Okay, well, that's quick highlights of 2013. Let me check with Todd and see if there have been some questions.
Okay, Dave. Great job. A lot of good things. Have a couple questions. And yeah, anyone else, feel free to ask a question. It should be on the right of the go-to meeting. There's a question section, so feel free to type in anything there. Have two from Kenny Price. His first question is with the search publish control. Can you search an area by an address?
No.
Can you like type in an address and bring in the results that way?
No, we don't have that. It's not,
okay.
It's not like that Google Earth where you can put in an address and it zooms there. You got to zoom it yourself.
Okay. He had another question with the tree table report. If it can, or with the tree table, if it can report the tree coverage area.
Individually, yeah, that's one of the report options is the area that's covered by the tree. Individually, yeah.
Okay. And then I had a question from Amanda. In takeoff, can you show where that command is and explain it in a little more detail?
Sure. The trace.
Yep.
So under takeoff, there's a raster pull down. The raster pull down was new in Carlson 2012. Basically has commands where you can insert the image into the drawing, and then there's this set raster image where you tell the program which image you're going to process currently. Then you can run the trace command.
Yeah, once the image is there. And there is a YouTube video that shows that command a bit. You can just search Carlson software. It's on our YouTube channel. And I'm the product manager for Takeoff, so anyone with questions with Takeoff, just email the chat here, and I can follow up with you and show you any of the commands that are new with Takeoff. And that's all the questions we have at this moment. So thanks, Dave. It's a lot of good stuff.